Well, hello YouTube friends. It's December in Florida, and it's like 84 degrees out. Happy holidays to everyone. We're gonna hit the road, get started, kick this thing off. And I got some exciting news for this holiday season. I'm bringing gifts to the channel. Opportunities for more adventures. Details after this. Warm up the tires like we're MotoGP on my Sportster. So, funny thing happened the other day. I went and saw this killer motorcycle. I mean, it has every look that screams classic Harley Davidson, and it has the sweetest sound. I love my Snakester, but it's lacking a few things that it could never have, and I have learned that each motorcycle, any type of motorcycle, it's designed for a certain purpose. Why have one motorcycle when you can have two, right? If you're in that fortunate situation by the powers to be and grace of God. The Sportster chassis is fantastic, great in-town bike, but as you know, I want to travel some, so I need something with a little bit more abilities to travel, but at the same time, I don't want to spend a boatload of money tricking out a brand new Harley Davidson bike. I was perusing through the Facebook marketplace, as I often do, because I have motorcycle-itis. It's a severe affliction. Some of you have had it, and some of you are currently afflicted, like I am. It just happened that the motorcycle, it was about an hour away from the house, and I'm like, oh yeah, maybe I'll go over and see it, and then go about my day. And then later that week, at the end of a work day, I found myself over in that part of the state, and I'm like, oh, this can't be. I haven't been in this part of the state in forever, and all of a sudden I'm here for a different reason, and I conclude my reason for being there, fulfill my obligation, and I'm like, I got some time on the way home to stop there, so I do. And so I rolled up upon the motorcycle shop, take a look at this magnificent example of a motorcycle, and what I found was much, much more impressive in person than what the ad had advertised it to be. And from that point, I fell in love. So without further ado, let's roll the footage. That's the EVO sound.
Yeah, the old car's working.
I'll take it. All right, so here with Francis of Graybeard Cycle Barn in Mims, Florida, located between Daytona and Cocoa Beach along Highway US 1. I just picked up the Fat Boy, and tell us about your business.
We've been here since '07. We just buy, sell, and trade motorcycles. Just a very small family-owned thing. very low overhead. You know, we don't do all the crazy dealer prices and all that stuff.
No dealer fees.
Yeah, we're old school, very old school sales here. So if you're looking for something for a real reasonable price with no games and no BS, this is definitely the spot.
And you list all your bikes pretty much on Facebook Marketplace?
Marketplace, we have a little homemade website that gets us by, and Craigslist too. But yeah, those are our three places you can check our bikes out.
Okay.
So,
I found them on Facebook Marketplace.
I think Facebook's the new for everything now.
Yeah, it used to be Craigslist, now it's Facebook
Yes,
Marketplace.
it is.
But they have some of the best prices in the area from a dealer. Now, obviously, you can go to a private seller and buy a bike.
Yep, absolutely.
But you take a lot of the headache out of it. What do you do that's different than going to a private seller?
Well, I was going to say, the price, usually we can beat the same price as, someone off the street, and you don't have the headache of going to someone's house, meeting somebody you don't know, going there with money, and, we deal with all the other headaches for you. You don't have to go to the DMV, hassle with the tax, the tag, title. We do everything here. It's a guaranteed, easy, safe purchase for you. So it's a good feeling to buy from a dealership too. So
support your local market, support people that support the community, give back, shop. Graybeard Cycle Barn, Mims, Florida.
Come see Francis.
All right, this is German Dave. German Dave, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
German Dave is awesome. He's the guy that you call when you're on the side of the road, right?
Yes.
He's the guy you call when you buy a new bike.
Yes.
Because he comes and picks it up, puts it in his pickup truck with this cool looking thing, this lift thing.
Yes.
And it goes in that truck there, and he drives it to where you need to be.
I pick you up wherever you are. Wherever you need me, I will be there too.
And you cover, where do you cover?
Everywhere, wherever I'm needed. You need me, call me, and I'll be there as soon as I can.
Sturgis?
Sturgis, Tennessee, been to
Maine?
Georgia, everywhere. Maine, if I need, everywhere you need me to.
There you go. So you just
Yes.
call German Dave. Here's his phone number right here, his contact information, and I'm gonna have links down below in the comments. So how long you been doing this?
4 years right now.
4 years.
Yes.
Brand new truck, and look at this,
Yes.
the Fat Boy.
Absolutely.
What
And
do-
you can see it when it goes on the truck, so you have an idea how this works.
Yep. So we're gonna film that for you. I'm gonna follow German Dave. We're gonna drop the bike off at Pedro's garage, and Pedro's gonna start doing the safety checks and going through the bikes to make sure everything's cool. But so let's go ahead and watch now to load it up.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yes,
let's
ready
do
to
that.
go.
So we're heading over to Pedro's garage. It's going to be about an hour or so trip. Just excited, man. Fat Boy, my dream bike, and it's mine. I own it. We're taking it over to Pedro's, make a list of modifications that I'm going to do right away. It's missing some things. Before I even ride it, I want to have a safety check done by Pedro, check the clutch, check the brakes, change all the fluids, get that peace of mind that everything's good from start. I've never bought a used bike before, so it's my first used bike purchase, but man, I'm excited. EVO engine, freight train front end, the back end with the coffin tail light looks just like a deluxe. Yeah, I think it needs a little help with its identity. It's got the front end of a Road King Special, it's got the rear end of a deluxe, old school deluxe or a heritage, but it's got that EVO engine, man, with that sound, that lovely, beautiful sound that you just can't get with a Milwaukee 8. So this is gonna be fun. So not sure if I'm gonna add, hard bags to it and, take some longer trips on it, or go right into chopping and bobbing it. I'm making a bike that I can take to the chopper shows. Enjoy those. Just not sure yet. Maybe both. Maybe I get some riding time out of it initially, and then later on, chop it and bob it. I don't know. I got the Sportster. It's great for around town, but, I got people that I want to ride with, man, that are our way in either direction from Orlando. The Sportster's just not going to do it. So, this might be the ticket, and then later on get a bigger bike. Maybe I'll just accumulate bikes. Have a bike for all seasons, a bike for every reason. Why not, right? We'll see what the future holds. But right now, this chapter, we're entering chapter 2, the next bike.
thing. It's a beauty. It is. How you doing, man?
Good, how are you,
Long
man?
time no see.
Good to see you, man.
You know what?
Let's go look at this thing.
Yeah.
Dude. I can't believe you're gonna chop this thing out.
I don't know, man. I was following it, and I'm like, I don't know if I need to chop it up. It looks pretty good.
I would just write it as it is, to be honest. It looks pretty darn good. Look at those rims, the paint, everything.
Yep. It's
Dude, I wouldn't chop this thing. You know what I would do to it? Put some saddlebags, color match them, and put a tiny little windshield.
Yep, exactly. Well, right now it needs a little
Runs
jump.
good actually earlier, but now we just charge the battery.
Okay.
Yeah. Like it started up earlier, but now it's not doing much.
Thing is sweet, dude. Yeah, batteries.
Yeah.
Batteries kaput.
Add that to the list.
You know how it is.
Yep.
HD, $100.
But need a replacement tank bib. I don't think it has any front indicators, so I was looking at those custom dynamic little bullets.
Yeah, just put,
The little bullets.
more stuff.
If you need, buddy of mine has a chrome one.
Yeah, the chrome one is the way to go.
Okay.
If you want to, I'll let
Yeah.
you know if he still has it and how much he wants for it, and then you can.
Yeah.
I'll text you.
The whole setup over here. Don't chop this thing.
It's got
now, Now you're gonna have to get another bike.
It's got the freight train front end.
Yeah, it does. It needs saddlebags.
Yeah. Viking has the bags that are shaped like the fender.
There you go.
Custom Dynamics has a coffin LED taillight that pops right in.
Look at the fender and all.
Yeah,
It's
man.
amazing.
Now that front fender looks like it's not stock. It looks like somebody's
Yeah. And
worked
Yeah,
on
it's
this.
custom.
and it's plastic.
It's got an aftermarket oil cooler on it.
Yeah.
Oh, the old school Lockhart one?
Yep.
Dude, the engine looked good and all, man.
I'm really curious on if it's got an S&S carb or it's got a Mikuni.
It's actually the stock CV carb in there.
Okay, just put the air cleaner over it.
Yeah, people do that all the time. You don't want to mess with that carburetor. You don't go to, nobody goes to S&S. You go to Mikuni, or you just keep the stock so you can enjoy life, you know, without having to tune it all the time.
Right.
It's nice, dude.
Yeah. It's stoked.
Exhaust,
It's a great-
exhaust
great looking
and all,
bike,
the
yeah.
sunny, right?
Yeah, it's got a Bassani exhaust. And this probably is newer, the newest thing on the bike.
It is. This is
Because it's got the edge cut, which has only been out for 5 years, 4 years.
dude, the paint is nice. Everything is nice.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of clear coat coming off right here.
I know a guy that can fix that.
And then it's got a nick. I noticed when I was following behind, there's some nicks here on the bottom of the fender and a dent.
It's in 1996.
Yep.
This is very so cool.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't chop it. Sorry. You can't chop it.
Pedro says I can't chop it. What do you
Nope.
think, Dave?
I wouldn't.
No?
You can't chop it.
Yep. I came to that realization earlier
If
today.
you want to chop something, you don't buy something nice.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You buy something, you clean it up yourself, and then you put only whatever you want, do it your own.
Hey, it works perfect because the Sporty cannot travel outside town, and I need something to get to Tampa and Daytona, meet up with people. This is the bike.
Exactly. You put, like he said, put saddlebags on it, then you can put your camera and stuff in it and all
Yep.
that, and then you're good to go. But if you want to chop something, buy something, it's ran down a little bit where you grab it cheap,
Right.
then you can put the money and make it worth it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the way
this-
to do it.
This right here, if you want to chop it, sell it. And if you want to chop it, I would just say, oh, well, sell this one and buy 2 other ones to chop it.
Yeah.
Because with the money you can make out of this, you'll buy 2 other ones.
Yeah.
You'll buy a project and another bike.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Well, sounds fair.
I'm proud of you, dude. This is
Thanks,
this is
man.
pretty badass.
Yeah, when I saw this, somehow green bikes attract me. I just pop on green bikes. And it's not my favorite color.
And this
It's
is
not.
going to be your first adventure with ape hangers. Huh?
Yeah, the 12-inch ape hangers, okay.
You can do this. I think you
I
can
sat
do
on it,
this.
I'm like, I'm pretty
It
comfortable.
feels actually higher because the seat is lower.
Yeah, it's a low.
You know, yeah, the seat is low, so I'm
Congrats.
I'm curious if it came low or if they did put a shock in it to make it low.
Looking at it, it's lined up with the frame, so
Okay.
it didn't mess with the shocks. The seat, like you said, it's
Yeah.
a low profile seat.
Yeah, it's like a bobber seat, but for 2.
Yeah.
Dude, awesome.
I don't know if my sissy bar bag will attach because it's not tall enough,
But you
but
can just replace this part. You can
Yeah.
buy
just
this
slides
part.
in.
Yeah.
Hey, you can take it in and out, right? You can put something in there else.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you could just get another whole thing. If you
Right.
want to. We can make one.
And then Friday night, you got your girlfriend in the back, put that back on.
How high you want it?
Well, for the sissy bar, I got the Biltwell bag, the 90, so it comes up right here.
Custom make one.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So that high, very high.
But
Dude, look at this.
yeah,
Yeah, dang. So what do you want me to do? Oh yeah, it's sticking. the rear brake, isn't it?
Yep, you can hear him grab, just pushing. Hit the front indicators. I don't think there's any indicators up here at all. Yeah, there's nothing.
Interestingly enough, the rear ones are working perfectly without going crazy.
Yep. Now, but if I put bags on these, those rears aren't going to work because they'll get covered up.
Yeah, you just
So
buy the little thing that goes in here, or
yeah, well, they have the one that goes into the tail light, or the license plate, left and right, and then they have these little bullets that attach somewhere back here.
and they have some that go back here, even cooler. They just
Yeah, I think
extend.
that's, well, I think that's what it is.
Extends just a little bit. Yeah, that's what I would do. Very
Little bullets, but they're bright as hell.
Yep, they are. Nice detail.
That's a little lockbox,
Yeah, it's a nice detail. I like it.
but I don't think they gave me a key for it, did they?
It's just like a key that works for all.
Where is
of
the
that.
key anyways?
Good. You don't have a key for it? Didn't they give you a key?
No.
Time to call them.
Oh, they're closed now.
Yeah. Give them a call. If not, we'll just replace this. I do this all the time.
Okay.
Gee, what a good deal.
That derby cover. Live the ride, brother.
Oh my God. God dang, dude. What a good deal. What a really good deal. And you wanted to turn this into a chopper. You wanted to cut this thing and...
Yeah, that was the
Sorry,
initial
bro.
thought.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. You're gonna get rid of your Sportster once you ride this. You know that, right?
So the important thing for me is safety check. It's got to stop. It's got to start. It's got to be able to turn. So all the basic stuff for safety check.
Yep.
And I don't know if I need to sit on this. You need to look at if these handlebars are positioned properly for me. Maybe the person before had longer or shorter.
Yeah.
So we
You
should.
can sit right now and I'll tell you. It's the best way to know. You know, by Florida law, it can't be above shoulder high.
Yeah, I don't think it's above shoulder. So I mean,
Yeah, you don't need to mess with them.
I got a little bit of bend.
You don't need to mess with them. So your rear rotor is dished out, which means this seized. There, for some reason, it's seized and overheated, so it's dished out. So that's why it's grabbing.
Okay, so we need to replace that.
Okay. First thing we need is a rotor,
And then we need to check this
brake pads, and I need to flush everything.
Right.
Take the caliper off.
up here.
You know, need to flush everything and take everything apart to see what's happening, because this is dished. I can look at it right away and say it's dished. I don't even need a flat spar. It has all new brake lines if you look at it. The bike doesn't seem to have any leaks, but now that we're gonna let it sit for a little bit,
Right.
we'll see. I'm gonna put it on the trickle charger and start it and see what's going on, how it sounds.
Now I noticed that this oil pressure gauge has oil in it.
Oh no, it has actually engine oil.
Yes, engine oil.
Yeah, trash that. It's telling you there's oil in there. Let's go to this list.
All right, safety check. And then performance check, I kind of left this up to you, but I just put it there as a talking point. Like, do we need to look at the carb since it's carbureted?
Well, once I run it, I'll know if I need to look at it, if it pops or anything, you know.
How the clutch feels?
Yeah. Clutch, once I ride it, I'll tell you. Like, controls, of course, we're gonna like check everything. I'm gonna check everything on it, see if it's not missing any retaining clips, and when I swap these, probably put everything new.
Does that just move when you touched it?
Yeah, it has a retaining clip over here.
Okay.
That goes missing. Oil, brake, case, transit. Yep, that's all.
3-hole change, right?
Everything, and puts new spark plugs, oil filter. We should flush all the brakes, because I'm going to do the rear one, do the front one.
Should we get the red spark plug wires? The Screaming Eagle red plug wires? Because I hear
10 more horsepower.
you get 10 more horsepower.
Just get some green ones.
'Cause
This
you get-
bike would look badass with some big old T-bars.
That's funny you brought that up, because that's the first thing I thought of. Now, honestly, I was thinking about Shade Tree Surgeon's Road King. He's got the T-bars, and they're black. But I was thinking, why wouldn't T-bars look good on this?
Yeah,
Why not?
It would. Yeah, you're putting the bags. You're putting that. I mean, you can also put if you want to put an engine guard, it wouldn't hurt.
Right.
Big heavy bike. You know, you turning.
It's lighter than I thought, though.
Yeah, it's the weight, the stance it is. It
Yeah.
drags in every turn, though. You'll feel that. Like Softails, these older Softails, they drag in every turn.
Yeah, lee angle is probably 20 degrees.
Yeah. Everybody knows you're coming around the corner.
Sparks flying.
And you brought the thing, the list, the scary thing. You give this to a mechanic, and he's like, "Oh no." Actually, he's helping me out over here. There's some stuff. Most of the stuff that's on the list is stuff that I already looked at. So
Right.
cool. Visually, it's in pretty good shape, you know.
Yeah, for a 1986, I think it's a 7, condition-wise, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a 7.
Yeah.
For a bike this old, it's almost a 9, you know, to be honest, because, I mean, I can't see any rust. I see corrosion, and the corrosion I see is in aftermarket parts. This is not stock.
Right.
The corrosion I'm seeing is aftermarket parts. So if you look at the primer, usually it starts flaking up here, and look at that.
It's not.
It's all good, man.
Yep.
The oil tank is good.
Even this, I was like, wow.
The rocker covers, like, they flake up here because of the heat and the humidity gets trapped.
It's like an aftermarket horn.
Oh yeah, that thing's loud. You want to hear it?
Hell yeah!
It's like a truck, freight train.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. Congrats.
Thanks,
What
man.
a good deal. What like an amazing bike. Do you even have something that usually goes away so quick? You still have the reflectors in the frame. That's how much this person liked this bike. Whoever had this loved this bike. The details, like it, and it's been a Florida bike, has an oil cooler. It doesn't have a lot of corrosion.
What about the white walls, though?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Classic look. That's an EVO, man. EVO.
Yeah, EVO engine was their first aluminum engine.
Yeah.
But this is aluminum all the way through.
Yeah. But it has the sleeves for the, cylinder walls like it's
Right.
supposed. You can board these things like a bunch of times and put oversized pistons. These motors last. They would say like before when these motors came out, they said this was it will last you at least 100,000 miles without needing to like rebuild the motor.
That's what they
And
say.
I've seen bikes like this. I've heard the stories of like 200,000, 300,000.
Yep. Those guys in those electric glides, they cruise around the country.
Boom. What's the name of this bike now?
Exactly. Got to come up with a name.
You come up with something. Cool stuff. Let's push it in, man.
All right.
So what's the time frame to get this done? You got time or?
Yep.
Okay, because this week I'm slammed, and then I'm leaving for 4 days, and
Yeah, you told me about that.
So the storm is a-coming, and we're going to be riding the storm out on the Snakester. So what'd you guys think of the reveal, huh? That's basically 3 bikes in one. Brainchild of Willie G in the 90s, where he's got a Road King special front end, a Fat Boy tank, and the rear end's a Softail Nostalgia or Deluxe. So it's a Softail Nostalgia. It was advertised as a Fat Boy, and I went in looking at it, and he's going, oh, yeah, man, Fat Boy. Terminator 2, baby. Yeah, it turned out to be, when I ran the VIN, something totally different. But I mentioned it to Francis. He's like, I should have charged him more. It's all good. Now it's at Pedro's and in his magical hands. And hopefully he'll go through the whole bike, make sure everything's cool, copacetic. I'm gonna order some parts to update the look a little bit. It's already got the Bassani 2-into-1 exhaust, but those apes, they gotta go too high. I want something a little bit more comfortable. Thinking T-bars. We'll see what happens over the next few weeks to the months that it will take. Now he says he'll take everything, he'll be able to do everything within a month. So I was told to take those expectations and taper it down a little bit. Instead of it being a month, it's probably going to be 3 months to get it all done. But we'll see, So if you're seeing this video, everything has gone to plan. I'll be riding the new bike soon, taking on some trips, keeping the Snakester here for some in-town duty. So I got Harley Davidson for every occasion. And then when the Bronx comes out in 2023, maybe I'll get one of those. And I'll get all my bases covered, right? We'll see. Who knows where this adventure is going to take me. So until next time, keep the shiny side up. And if you haven't bought that motorcycle, what are you waiting for? Buy the motorcycle. See you next time. Riding the storm out.
Hey guys, it's Haley. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell for notifications. See you next time.